Hey guys, Krista Jones here from Dating Krista, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly how I put together a wedding or a portrait session blog post. This is something that we get asked about pretty frequently, and so I figured the easiest way to show people exactly how I put my post together would be to actually do it. So I am logged into my WordPress account, and the first thing I'm going to do is go to Posts and Add New. So in this post, I'm just going to walk you through how I do things and not necessarily why I do things. There's a lot of things that I'm doing that I do for SEO purposes, but in the interest of keeping this video short and to the point, I'm not going to dive into all of that. If you have more questions about some of the strategy behind it, or you just want to know more about how to optimize your post for SEO, we cover all of that in our course, and so you can head over to daveyandkrista.com/inquiry to learn more about it. So anyways, back to my post. The first thing I do is I name my post, and so I'm going to be sharing Carly and Clark's wedding, which took place at District Winery. So I'm going to call this District Winery Wedding. I always include the location name and the venue name before I include the couple's names, and that's done specifically for SEO purposes. So I'm going to add Carly and Trent. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save this draft. And once I hit save, it's going to give me the option to edit the permalink. So I'm going to come up here to edit, and I'm just going to take their names out to make the link a little bit shorter. So I'm going to hit save there. And then I want to categorize my post. And so this wedding took place in Washington, D.C., and so I'm going to categorize it Washington, D.C. wedding. So categories are another great way to help with your SEO, but again, I don't have time to get into the specifics of why I haven't structured things the way I have. Next, I size my images. So next I size my images. And one thing that I do when I upload images to both the galleries and I deliver them to couples is that I pull all of the highlight photos, so like all of the key moments, like different detail shots, things that I think that the couple would enjoy seeing first, as well as some of images that I think would look great on the blog post, and I put them in a highlights folder. And those are the first images the couple sees in the gallery. And then I also use those photos for blogging purposes. So it's really easy for me to select all of these images and pull them in a blog stomp. And 177 is way too many images, but this is a great place to start because it gives me options. So I'm going to let these load for a minute. And then from there, I have some sizes preset, but I'll show you how to create a style. So you can come down to edit or create your own style. And I know that the images on my website display at about like 700 pixels wide. So I want those images to be, when I export my images, I want them to be about like 1.5 times the size that they display at. So for me, that's going to be about 1200 pixels wide. And that way I know that the images look good on Retina devices, but they're not so big that they're slowing my site down. If you aren't sure how to figure out what size to make your images, if you head over to daveyandkrista.com/showit, we have a tutorial in there. But a good rule of thumb for most blogs is probably going to be about 1200 pixels wide, unless you have really big images displayed on your site. Then maybe you want like 1800 pixels wide. The goal is that you want them to be as small as possible without compromising the quality, because that'll help your pages load faster. So I'm just going to hit OK. And then from here, I can start to size my images. I like to start with a really great wedding image, like one of the actual couple. So I know that their first look was really cute, and I want an image that's really going to draw a lot of attention. So actually, I think I might go with this one. So my first image that I post is going to be like one of my favorites, just to get people into the post and reading more. So I'm just going to hit stop, and Blog Stomp is going to size it. From there, I'm going to start working on the actual like details and go through the day. I like to start with the invitation, and so this is a good horizontal image that I'm just going to stomp. And then from here, I can start picking images to see how they pair well together. And you can just click on and off things, and I try to pair like different neat details together. So like I'm gonna do, sometimes I'll do like the dress and like a close-up of a detail. These two particular images I don't love together because they're kind of, one is warm on the left and this one is cooler. So I'm just looking for another image that is going to be warm and kind of have the same feel. Let me scroll down and see if there are any more. Actually, this dress might work well with this. This dress might work well with this. This dress shot might work really well with like the detail from the view of the hotel. So I'll just hit stop. I think I'm going to show these boutonnieres next. And I don't think I'm going to share this one because it looks like I need to come in and Photoshop this edge to make it cleaner and maybe get rid of some of the marks in here. And I honestly I don't feel like doing that right now. Probably also not going to share this because I'd have to get rid of the lights before vlogging it. And I just don't think I love the way it's going to look with the rest of the images. I think I'm going to do the ones of the girls in their robes next. So I'm just going to probably pick one. Maybe I'll do two. I'm going to do this one, and then I'm going to share let's see if that looks normal together. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to share those two together. And then I have her getting her makeup done. Next, I'm going to share one of her and her mom. I think I'm going to do that one by itself. And then I'm going to probably do one more pair. Actually, maybe I'll do these two together and mix it up so that you see the close-up with like a further back of like a similar shot. And I'll hit stomp. And then I think I'm going to do this one of her. And this is another good one that you could do. So like this would also be a great combination. I don't think I'd share both that one though and the other one that I had already stomped. I'm going to skip the boys. I'm going to skip her first look with her dad. I'm going to go right to her first look as we shot it. And I really love this angle. This was Davy's angle. So I think I'm going to see if I can pair this image with that. I don't love that because this is kind of dark and this one is just light, really light. Davy had a lot of sun. But that's cute. So I'll pair that together, and now I'm going to look for one that I could do like vertically by itself because I like to break up like the pairs of images. And I'll show you when I actually blog it. Actually, this is pretty because you really get to see your bouquet. So I'm going to do that next. And now we're going to get into the couples photos. Next, I need another pair of images. So let's see, what has the same lighting? I like that together, so I'm going to stomp that. Next, I like this one. This floral will be pretty with one that's more pulled back or one that's more detail-y. Let's see if I have one that's pulled back. I'm going to double check to see what my last one was because I like to also alternate the pairs so that like if the close-up was on the right, I'm going to make the close-up on the left for this next one. So I'm going to mix that one up, and then I have the close-up here and the further back there. So I'm going to stomp that. And just for the interest of not making this post and this video too long, I'm going to move on to the next scene, which he would look good. I like that. And this would be pretty maybe with that, so it's not like the same photo. And I'm going to stomp that. I'm going to do one of her by herself smiling because I think this one would do really well on Pinterest because of her flower and her gorgeous dress. And let's see, this one could look good. I like those two together. I'm going to do another one of Carly by herself. And And that would be pretty together. I'm going to do a great flower one. I'm going to do the horizontal. And what else would be pretty? I'm going to do a few on the bridge. I'm looking for ones that have like similar coloring. So this is like a different scene. So maybe I'll just do this one by itself. And then I really like this one, though her dress, you can kind of see it all. Although I also really love this one. Let me think. I'm going to stamp that one by itself, and then I saw a few more of those up here. Let's see. Oh, there's one bridge one there. I want to do one more like pair. So I'm going to look to see if I can find a good one pair that can be merged together. I mean, if I can't, then I'll just move on because I know that I have this scene already and I have some really good images for it. I might just stomp that one too to see if I like that one better than some of the other ones I've done. Next, I'm going to do bridal party. So I'm going to find my favorite bridal party shot, which I actually really like the mixed up bridal party more. I like this one. And I'm going to do a bridesmaid one. Actually, this bridesmaid one could be mixed up with one of these, I think. Maybe one of these is a good way to pull in this shot again. So I'm going to stomp that. And I'm going to do one of the girls by themselves, and then one where all of their eyes are open. And I'll even Photoshop, like I'll switch heads if I need to. So I'm going to do the girls. I'm going to do a close-up of the girls laughing. I think I like this one. And let's see, I'm going to look for the guys. I have one that I like of the guys. I have a horizontal one. Okay, I'm going to do a horizontal of the guys. And I might do a close-up like of the guys like this. So I'll stomp that. And I think that's all I'm going to share. I think I'm going to skip these because I don't know if they're going to just fit overall with the aesthetic of the blog post. And I'm trying to think. I think I'm going to do some of the details next. So I want ones that were shot in similar light. This was actually a really like dark venue. So it might be kind of tricky. I might not vlog everything because everything had really strong overhead lighting. Look and see what I ended up shooting. Okay, I'm going to do like a scale pulled back one here. And I'm going to do a detail shot. So like you see the table, the place setting with like a further back shot. I'm going to do this cake shot. And I want to try to get those rings too. I'm going to do the rings, the horizontal version. And I actually think I'm going to hold off. Well, I'll show you when I actually when I load the blog post. I'm going to switch up the order a bit. I'm going to do ceremony now. So you don't have to include all of the photos from the ceremony. I normally just do like a few highlights, and that because I want to make sure that they tell the images that I'm sharing fit the overall aesthetic of the post. So I'll do a close-up there, and I'm going to share, I might share both of these because they're really cute. Normally I wouldn't do that. Next, I'm going to look for I'm going to do a few of these. Where are they? Where did they go? I want these like kind of scene setting images because I think that's going to look really good in the post. So I'll do like maybe those two together. And then, let's see, I'm going to share a few first dance ones. I'm going to share those two, and I'm going to share black and white. And I'm going to look and see if I love any of like the toast ones. I might just go right to dancing. So I'll do a few dancing ones. Actually, I probably won't blog the dancing ones. I'm probably going to end with this image, or we didn't stay for very long with the dancing, so I don't have a lot of great dancing shots. And I normally don't share a lot of dancing shots, normally just a handful. All right, so I'm going to stomp that. Next, I'm going to open up my stomped folder, and I'm going to rename these because Carly and Trent is not going to be helpful for SEO. So I'm going to right click everything, and I'm going to click rename, and we're going to name them and again, if you want to get more into like the technical and the theory behind how I'm naming them, you can head over to datingkrista.com/inquiry and see if you think the course would be a good fit for you. But for now, I'm going to load them all. All right, so now I'm going to go to Add Media, and I'm going to drag in my images. Once your images are loaded, you're going to want to give them all alt text, and so you actually need to put it in, you need to click on each image in order to add that. So I'm going to start with the first one, and I'm just going to do a couple. I'm not going to do everything, but you would want to do everything. I'm trying to keep each image specific. By photographers, Krista A. Jones. And you could do something generic like that and put it on each image, like if you don't have a lot of time. But ideally, you'd want to try to describe each image. So I'm going to make sure that this image is set to be full size, and then I'm going to insert it into the post. Once my images have been added, I like to flip to the text view and come up and get rid of any spacing and A tags around. You may not have any A tags that were added to your images, but mine were. And you don't want to create links to just an image. So I'm just going to get rid of all of the A tags to make sure they're not there, and get rid of any spacing between the images. All right, so once your images are cleaned up, you can flip to visual and you can look and see how things go together. For some reason, it looks like you need to recategorize this, but I'm going to save it and then I'm going to preview it in a minute. I'm going to preview it in a new tab. And this is just going to give me an idea how things flow together and what I might want to consider removing or flipping up. So like I think I'm going to switch up this image to make sure it's in between these two. So, and I think I'm actually going to get rid of boutonnieres. It's just a few too many images. So let's see, this one, I'm just going to try to drag it and move it after that image. Yep, that worked. I'm going to come back to my preview and see how things are looking. What else needs to be? I'm looking to see how I can reposition things. Okay, if I move things up even more. So, big, 2 littles, big, 2 littles. I have 2 more littles again. So if I move this guy down, 2 littles. I really like these two, so I'm going to keep those. Keep that one. Move this one. And see if I move this one up, or if I move this one down. I think I'm going to get rid of this one. Because I really like this one. I like that one. So 2 littles. Let's see if I can move this one down. So 2 littles, big one, 2 littles, big one, another big one, another big one, another big one. Which is, I don't mind having lots of big ones together as much as I dislike having 2 little ones together. So I'm going to move this one down after the ceremony. And actually, that's kind of pretty right there. I'm going to Command C. Keep that one there because it is like ceremony decor. Keep that one. I'm actually going to move this guy down a few till after all of the detail shots. So that one, I'm going to switch that up because I love this pulled back shot of the whole room a little bit more than I like the ring shot. Keep that one there. I'm just going to move this below the black and white. The one of her dad, one of her dancing, and then we'll do the cake cutting. Okay, I'm just going to save that. And if I come back to my preview, I can see that things kind of flow a bit more. And I'm just double checking to make sure that everything is alternating and that there aren't like 2 pairs stacked up next to each other. And it's looking pretty good. Okay, so next I'm going to pick a featured image. So that's going to get set here, featured image. And I'm just going to pick one of my favorites because this is what's going to show up on my blog, like on the blog page. And I'm going to add some tags. So let's see. I'm going to go for ones that are specific to this wedding. So I'm looking for to see if I have any DC tags. Washington, D.C. wedding. And I'll do D.C. Okay. We're getting close, guys. Next up, I'm going to add the wedding vendors. I actually asked for their wedding vendors. So I actually asked for their wedding vendors in their pre-wedding questionnaire. And that's available in our shop if you don't have a good one and you want to use ours. But I'm going to enter this down here and paste in the vendors. And then I would clean these up for all of them. And I would say wedding vendors. I like to center mine personally, but this is just like a Krista style preference. And I would go in and then I'll come in and I'll start cleaning things up. And then I want to link to all of the vendors as well. For the interest of time, I'm not going to do that here. But for your blog posts, I recommend doing it and linking to as many vendors as you can. And we do that both to help for SEO reasons. It's good to link to other sites. We do that so that hopefully when we send this post to the vendors who are all included, maybe they'll be more likely to feature us. And it's also just great for people who find your blog post so that they know how to find like this beautiful cake, for example. They know that it comes from Buttercream Bake Shop, and hopefully they can go and book their cake from them. And I always save the hardest part for last because I don't love writing. Writing these descriptions for blog posts is always a struggle for me. And so I do this last because by this point I have everything else done, and I just kind of like know that it's the last hurdle that I need to do in order to get this post published. But I try to make this easy on myself as well, and so I ask them a few questions in our pre-wedding questionnaire about their story, about their inspiration for their day, and I'll include that in this write-up. And then I also ask them some questions when they first inquire about how they met, how they chose their wedding venue, a few other things, and then I use those to help write this paragraph or two as well. And so once my write-up is done, I will come to the very bottom, and I have Yoast, the Yoast SEO plugin installed on my site, and so I'll come in and I'll make sure I optimize all of this. I'm not going to go into that right now. I wanted to keep this more focused on how to like put the post together, but if you want more details about optimizing this, you can head over to daveyandkrista.com/inquiry. And then the very last thing I do is I either schedule it to go live at a certain time. Normally I schedule mine for like 7 a.m. Or I would just hit publish right now and it could go live. So I hope this video was helpful. If you guys have any questions about putting posts together, you can reach out to us at support@daveyandkrista.com. Thanks.